People get so angry at me. I get so much hate online these days. But I've learned to accept that. You don't get hate, dude. You're loved you're universally loved.
Well, I think you see. I think everybody sees their own.
What do people say about you?
I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, it's the way that I've.
Eric Andre is another big one.
Yeah, he'd be great. The way that classic. I'm gonna eat out your camera operator. But like on I guess. You know, you have to figure out how to manage all that because it's so loud all the time, you know, especially like when you're always making something and you're always putting it out and then you're caught in that feedback loop 24/7. And listen, I'm sensitive. Like, I'll see, like, it could be 10 nice things. The one thing is the thing that I'll remember and that'll stick with me. So, a while ago, I just got into the habit of like just making the thing and then putting it out and then just making the other thing and then putting it out. Because like if you ever feel like you have some sort of ownership over that thing, it doesn't matter however it's taken or whatever. And I was putting myself in, you know, I was sending my brain in a spiral. So I think that to me, it's just, you know, you make the thing, you put it out in the world and then the audience can do whatever they want with it, but while that's happening, I've separated from it.
Yes.
I just make the next thing, put it out, make the next thing.
Kind of the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna go crazy.
Once I got into that, it really helped me a lot.
Yeah. What were the comments that bothered you?
I don't know. I guess like I don't know. I'm trying to think because I have done a good job of just sort of blocking this whole thing out. But it's almost just like the negativity, I guess.
Yeah.
Or it's just the, even it doesn't even have to be me in the crosshairs of it. Like, it could be our guests. Like, sometimes you'll like look back at the internet as like a mirror and just, it'll like, just kind of break your heart on, you know, we have this way to like communicate with each other or whatever. And like the way, but then too is, I don't need to have like such a heavy heart because I don't need to like, be, you know, I don't need to have a job on the internet where I'm making something on the internet and then be on the internet all the time. Like, you can just kind of shut it off and go about your life and have a healthier relationship with it.
Absolutely. You have
to.
So
you have to fit. I think for every person, they're different, but there's probably a thing where, all right, you start to make a thing, it starts getting attention, you're interested in what people are saying about it, and it does make sense to pay attention to it because the audience can serve as a focus group kind of for whatever you're making, and you can help. It can help you shape the show in a lot of ways. But then once it gets to once it's achieved a certain thing, or once it breaks containment on something, it's not just your fans talking about it anymore. Now it's like a big zeitgeist thing that's kind of consumed by like so many people, and then that's kind of feeling like you can feel like you're connected to and with your audience at some point, and then it breaks out into a thing where you're like, wow, like now I'm just in a room getting like shouted at from every direction.
That's
about
exactly
the thing,
right.
like pushed and pulled in like 10 million different directions. And then it's like, all right, are you gonna just try to surf those waves and whatever? I think that leads you to like a really negative place, or it did for me, where it just felt loud and heavy all the time. And so like I didn't want to look at my phone. I didn't want to like open it up. Like text messages, I'd get like a little like like you just want to block it out entirely. So as a way to just cope with all of that in a different way, I just it was like, you know what, it doesn't matter, like nothing changes about the process of making the thing and putting it out. Like the only thing that's changing is the degree to which I care about the noise surrounding it. And you can just mute it, like you can just shut it off. So I've been doing that. That's probably
that's great
in a lot of ways why we had the year that we had.
That's great.
Was just being able to.
I genuinely think that everyone in a position that we're in has to either come to a point where they learn to let's say transcend that and to live like along with it, or it destroys you.
Right.
It's like you have to. There's no two ways about it. Do you ever do comments ever get to you? I mean, you're not on camera, but like obviously it's your show.
About the show and the brand for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I think to Sean's point, we're protective of the guests. Like it is
You don't
sort of
want
upsetting when everyone just goes off on a guest who's come and eaten spicy wings on our show, you know, and we really like
you don't want it to
invested
backfire
in and
for
research, and obviously we wanted them to be on the show, and then sometimes because Hot Ones is so outsized in its, how big it's grown. We're proud of our other shows too. And of course, there's that audience of get this show the hell out of here. We're only here for hot ones. And Sean and I talk about this all the time. It's like all of this is free.
Right.
We do all this for you to watch if you want to. And there's 8 trillion other options that you can go check out.
Not watch this video.
Like I think we're living in such a great age of entertainment where there's so much competition for eyeballs, and then the cost of it is so low compared to, when I'll date myself here, but I remember, being like in 4th grade, going to Sam Goody, buying like 2 CDs, a pack of lemon heads, and some AA batteries for my CD player. And that shit would be like $54.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you can get like Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal for an entire month of like the entire library, like at the convenience of a phone for less than that. You know, you used to get like 30 songs for. And then same now, whether it's like the streaming wars or cable or the internet or YouTube, and like YouTube I feel like is the most transparent of it all, because there's the thumb, there's like the thing, like you don't have to click the thing, and whatever you want to do with your eyeballs and ears, it's like totally up to you. Like you can curate everything you watch and what you're in to your direct tastes and interests if you wanted to, in a way that's pretty cost effective. But then still, it seems like people would rather be miserable in a place they don't even need to be.
The actual like path to leaving that comment is interesting, because they got a notification, they clicked on the notification, they watched the video they weren't interested in to begin with, and then they left a comment. I mean, that's a lot of action to
Ricky
take.
Gervais has a good thing about this, which I'll butcher, but he was pointing out the steps it takes to hate on someone, and it's like going up to their door, knocking. They open it up and they go, "Fuck you! I don't want to I don't care about you," and then run away. It is a lot of effort to do that.
And then I think it's just like in such volume. That eventually it kind of cracks you a little bit. Or something.
I do like
1% of 50 million. It's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Something I find funny is that because Sean's the face of it all, he also gets this kind of hot sauce community, like acting like he is the guru of hot sauce. And a bottle broke when it was shipped to me. Can you give me a refund? And he's
they hit you up straight up.
A complete tidal wave of people
awesome.
asking.
You got
super
customer
nerdy
service
questions,
inquiries.
Or
all that stuff.
Or it's like it's hard to look because people, they'll be like, "Hey, dude, it's my buddy's bachelor party in Seattle. Like, it would be so sweet. Like, if you could just like come out." And,
we get that all the time.
Where people, and I'll get like 50 of those a day. When I appreciate it, I do like, But then you're like, wow, like you just feel like. You get like spread so thin or whatever, or you're just being tugged at. I mean,
it's sweet that they think of you that accessible, but it's like they really think you don't have shit to do. It's like you don't do shit, dude.
But
really
then I can't tell that if it's just like just shoot your shot thing or whatever. But I'm always like, it is.
I get a lot of birthday,
surprising.
Anniversary invites, wedding invites.
What is the people who see you in the wild? What does H3H3 super fan look like?
Couples. A lot of couples.
We do get a lot of couples.
Couples. Really, a lot. It's almost like I would say 50%. The dude
They're
and
always
his girlfriend.
really nice people. I mean, always.
Yeah,
really
sweethearts.
Yeah.
College age.
We love that, it's always the bar back, the bouncer,
security
the
guard.
back of house
real?
people who are,
Yeah.
and that we kind of thought that was like, oh, this is real. Like
Salt
that's
of
the
the
type of
earth.
fans we want.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
At least early on, like TSA always cracks jokes to Sean. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
TSA?
gotta
All the
pat you
time.
down for wings.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they'll do that. Even like last time
That's awesome.
last time I went through LAX, the guys there, they were like, "Oh, you have any sauces?" Like that, and I was like, "No, you guys don't let me take that shit through."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "All right, hey, February 6th, February."
Yeah, like
they
they'll
were
know all
Yeah,
of
they'll
the
know
information.
they're like so
Yeah.
locked in. They know more about the show than me.
You ever get hooked up? Like
yeah.
VIP treatment? What's your favorite VIP treatment?
Well, that's what's good about like being like very back of house. So yeah, that's good. Like if you go to a club and somebody recognizes you or whatever.
Yeah.
shout out.
Like what? Like what happens? They'll let you in the door. They'll give you free drinks. What happens at the club?
Yeah, you get out, whatever. You could just be some jerk off in the line, like whatever. But if they know the show, then you're in. Then
When you were dating, were you getting recognized? I mean, you're dating now,
well,
but
yeah,
like
but
when the relationship first started, did you ever like walk around with her or do something and get recognized?
Yeah,
that's got to be like,
but you get
that's got to be baller, right?
Yeah, it looks
You're
good.
like,
It looks
"What's
good.
up?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it does help. And then YouTube makes you like so accessible. So it's people are like, hey, you ever get recognized? Like, yeah, like every
lot.
single day. Yeah, but whatever. If you go to a hotel, like we're big. Shout out Salik at the Mondrian, because like like if they recognize you, then you're like, oh, here's a full lounger, and here's like the top. You know what I mean? Like if they know you from the show, that's the best. That's where you get.
You
back.
get next level.
We don't get
of
hooked up
access.
like
We
that.
don't get that.